Hey everyone, and welcome. Today I want to talk about the interface of Affinity Publisher 2. Now, there are toolbars and tabs everywhere. You've got them on the left, you've got them on the right, you've got them on the top, and there'll even be more when you open up your first project. So, I wanted to go over just when you first open up your screen, if you're a beginner and there's nothing, you know, on it, you've not used it before, or if you're um, a beginner and you've used some of it, this may just help you pare it down to what you need just for planner creation. So we'll start here on the right. And in this bar up here, you need to see pages, assets, and table. And if you do not see those, you can go to window at the top and you can scroll down and see there's assets and pages and table. So we got table here. All of these are the ones that are open right now. So we have assets, color, history, layers, navigator, pages, swatches. Under table, and that little menu is table. And then we have transform. So these are pages, assets, and tables. And if you go over here to the right, you'll see color and swatches. And at the bottom, well, in the middle, there'll be layers. They'll have character, paragraph, and text styles. Now, we won't be using these three for a while, but they are normally when you first open up, they'll be there. But you do need layers showing. You also need transform, navigator, and history. So those are the main windows that you need open when you very first open it up. Each one of these does a separate thing, and we're going to go through each one bit by bit. But today is just for this. So if, for example, if I opened up one of Camilla's template packs, I don't have that font, so you can just close that. It's telling you that the font she used may not be on your system. And that's okay, because we'll put our own fonts in. But I'm going to use the boho summer template just for examples here. So if you see now, you've got selection and documents and settings and stuff up here. If we click on this, it changes this bar up here because it's all of the functions that you need for this particular picture frame. These are the ones that you need for coloring and filling the stroke and so forth for the tabs. So this will change depending on what you have highlighted on your page. And it looks mostly the same for all of them. If we wanted to take this box, for instance, and we wanted a color in it, we would go to fill. And then in fill, we'd go to the color or the swatches that we have. And you won't have any to start with, but I'm going to show you how to do those too. But we could go to swatches and say we wanted it to be this orange. Now, if we wanted it to have an outline, we'd go to this box and we could outline it. And let's just say black. And it's got this, you can see right here, this black outline. It doesn't show up very closely, but there we go. And if you wanted to change that, you could click here. And we're going to change it to a 0.5. Now when we click off, we can better see that black outline. But we're going to undo all of that. And we're going to go back to this. Now, when you click on this box, you can stretch it, and there's a lot of things that you can do that are available up here that you just won't use. Now, this is going to be your centering. So if you have it on a page, you're going to want to center it, but you also have that option up here. So if we went to this option, this would tell you could horizontally align it, vertically align it. And you will need all that. Now, if you first open up your assets page, you're not going to have anything in here if you've not created assets before. And again, that's for a future lesson. But this is the table is the one who will allow, which will allow you to draw a table. So if you come to your table tool on the left, you can put in a table, make it as short or as big or tall as you want. Let's see, undo that. If you click on your artistic tool, this will show you the letter, and you can make it as big or as small as you want and continue writing from there. Now this too, if you click back onto this black triangle, that will give you the ability to move it. If you're in the middle of this and you need to move it, you can't move it right there. Click on somewhere off the point, hit the letter V, and that gives you that moving tool again. So you just click off of it, click on V. So we're in here. We click off of it. We click V, or just the letter V, no control or anything, just the letter V, and it will let you move any of these. The text box will allow you to put the text box in and then write in the center of it. I can't type today. Now, up here is where you can center that text, or left aligned or right aligned. So let's center it. And then it's way at the top up here. So let's go to this one that says top aligned. Let's go to that drop down menu and say center it vertically. So now it is in the exact center of the box. So that's how you do that. You can make it to the left, and you can justify it. You can justify the whole thing, and that spreads it out. Of course, we won't do that much, but that's an option that's available. So now let's go back to our arrow tool, and let's just cut that out. On this side, you're going to have color swatches. The first one is color. So if we wanted to color this box, we could go over here and double click in that, and that will bring up a color chooser. So you can slide this to whatever color you might like, and then you can choose the color you want. And if you can see, it's changing the color of that box to whatever we might want to choose it. And you can slide this around to make it brighter or darker or more gray. So that's your color chooser. In swatches, that's a whole different story. Yours will not have all of these listed. I have made several color swatches, but yours won't have anything in it until you get ready to make color swatches. But what you can do is you can go up here to, for just this particular document, we can create a palette from an image. And since I'm using the Boho Summer Planners, let me get down here and make sure I'm in the right one. Nope. Let's go to Template Packs in Affinity. And we're going to go to Images. And I'm going to go to Illustration Style. And just these are the images that are included with the Boho Summer pack. So if we wanted to use one of these women So let's just say this one. We wanted to use this picture on our planner cover. Then we want all of our covers to, or all of our pages and elements to coordinate with that. So we would click on that picture. I usually create 15 color swatches. So you put 15 in here and then you create. And what that does is it puts them over here in a window with the name of that picture. And it gives you all of these colors. Those are the colors that are in that picture. So if we want this box to match this, we just click on it and we come down here and say we want that to be that blue. Now we know that blue is going to coordinate with our top picture, but we can get more into that later. Your layers panel down here in the middle is going to be where this particular page, everything that's on this particular page is going to be showing up in the layers panel. So if we click on grid 1, it highlights this grid. Grid 2 highlights this grid. The time schedule highlights here, and so on. To-do list, and then the rectangle. And then the post-it note, you can click on that, but you can also click this drop-down arrow, and that opens it up. So you have the tape, so you can color it separately. So let's give it a nice pale color. And then the rectangle is the image, so we can give it a darker color. That's too dark. So now then if you click off, that has that color. Now your character, paragraphs, and styles gets into more for people who are writing books or info planners where they're going to need those things, and we're not going to touch on that right now. If we click on this and we go down here to transform, this shows us, these 4 boxes show us exactly where it's set on the page. And we will get to being able to change that later. But let's go back up. This navigator shows you which page you're on, and you know, you can shrink or enlarge the page, but it's easier to do that for shrinking and enlarging the page if you have a mouse with the buttons on the left-hand side or wherever they might be. If you hit on mine, the top button, it scrolls in. If you hit the bottom button, it scrolls in. You can also do this with the wheel. Press down on the wheel in the middle, scroll up to get it closer, scroll out to get it further away. And then this is history. This is showing you everything that you've done to this so far. So everything we've been playing with here, even my misspellings and everything, show you. So if you've really, really messed up and you want to go back to a part where it wasn't messed up to start over, you can find that step here. The only other thing is like with this box here. We're going to scroll in on it. It already has a shadow, but if you want to make a different kind of shadow, then we would go to the FX, and there are several different options here, which we will get into. But for now, you know, it's there. If we wanted to create an outer glow, we could give this and close it, and this gives it this outer. So it's just got this little white around it, just kind of gives it a glow. But we don't want to mess with our page too much right here, because we're going to come back in and learn these things individually. But this is your major setup. You've got all your toolbars here. This one will create a straight line. This will create, if you click on the little triangle, it'll create any of these shapes that you can add. This one will create, if we put that right over the top of this, then we could go in and pop in a picture. And so that was for the square, for a rectangle one, and you can also use the round one. This will take you to your files where all of your pretty things are at, and you can go to different pages or different files. So I know this is a lot to take in, but it's just the basics here. We're not going to do anything with these. I just want to show you, and then we'll get into future videos where we are going to deep dive into one particular area. You can crop. If you have these up here, that means you have Affinity Publisher and Affinity Photo, and they can be used in, certain instances. You're going to want to use those. Most of the time when you're making a planner, you're not going to need those unless you're starting to get really fancy, and then you will need those. But we'll get into that too. If there's any questions on this, let me know. But if we close this out, this is what you're mainly looking for here, is to make sure you have pages, assets, and tables, color and swatches, layers, transform, navigator, and history. And like I said, if they're not showing up there, or there's all of kinds of other stuff showing up out here, all you have to do is go to Window and either click or unclick to get these either showing or not showing. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. If you've got any ideas for videos you'd like to see, then just let me know and we'll get you fixed up. Have a great day. Thanks.